Over the past year, this bike has taken me everywhere. And truly, this bike has let me experience everything mountain biking is all about. Spending time in nature and having an absolute blast while doing it. This is the best all-mountain bike. But first, let's go back to June 2023. And after that first ride, I was hooked. Within just a few days, I was hitting things I would never even consider to do on my hardtail. But can it even ride park, bro? I was lucky enough to get not one, not two, but 3 bike park days at arguably the best bike park in the world, and the Stumpy held up. Now, it's not to say I haven't ridden Whistler on a proper downhill bike, but when comparing the two, I honestly felt like my confidence level was basically the same. Always when renting a downhill bike, you always have that kind of getting used to it stage because it's not your bike. You know, the bars are a little bit narrower and just different things like that. Obviously, I didn't have that with my bike. And really, I'd say the only just notable difference is just how I felt at the end of the day. Obviously, having a lot less travel and riding for so long kind of beats up your body a little bit, but honestly, it's all worth it when you're just having so much fun. Now, what have I changed on the bike? To be honest, I've kept it pretty simple. Got a nice new pair of pedals and some new grips, as well as a new seat, but overall, the bike is mostly stock. So what are those stock components? So the frame, I have the M5 alloy frame. I opted not for the carbon just because it's a lot cheaper, and I've never noticed the bike feeling super heavy. It's got adjustable geometry that I've left basically all stock, but you can tweak it if you want better climbing. Now for the actual suspension, the fork has a 160mm Fox Float 36 rhythm. Now it doesn't really have the high speed and low speed dampening, it's just got one dial. To be honest, for my ability of riding, it's been great. The rear shock, it's 150mm of a Fox Float X2 Performance. Once again, it's perfect for my ability level, and I'll upgrade when I improve more. The drivetrain, it's a SRAM GX Eagle 12-speed. Brakes, the SRAM Code R brakes. 4-piston hydraulic brakes, strong stopping power, good modulation. Went over the bars a couple times, but I think that's more just personal. This is a pretty standard all-mountain bike, wheel and tire size at 29 inches, and I've had no problems with them. And it's got the X-Fusion Manic dropper. Now let's just talk about the overall build quality of the bike. So I've only had about 2 kind of build quality issues. The quick release lever on the rear through axle had broken off, and now it's being held by a piece of Scotch tape. But other than that, it's worked just fine. And I really haven't found a need to go buy a new one just because it hasn't really given me any other issues. And the other one is just gonna be the seat. I don't really blame this on Specialized, it's just the kind of crash that I got into. Just ripped it right off. And I've also gone through about like 4 tubes, but it's honestly on me for just not switching to tubeless. Now for the affordability of this bike, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this is an expensive bike. You're looking at just around $5,000, but I picked it up on sale. And to be honest, for a bike like this with these components, it is on the more expensive side. But with a bigger company with Specialized, you get much better customer service and much better customer support. But I've heard other bike companies with cheaper bikes sometimes have worse customer service just because they're a smaller company. But would I recommend it? Absolutely. This bike has brought me nothing but joy. So it really got me really into mountain biking and also content creation. My life would be totally different if I never got this bike. I believe really any rider will be able to use it, even if it's your first bike or if it's your last. Just in general, I think the whole Stumpjumper platform is just so versatile. For example, if you want a more expensive bike, just get the carbon version with the better components, as well as this bike can go into a mullet setup. The past year of riding on this bike has been absolutely incredible. I'm going to be riding on this bike for the foreseeable future, so click the subscribe button to stay along for the journey.